So with this image here, this is called the Deep State Mapping Project. Is the title of the image itself. Let me just go down and just give you the name of the guy. Sorry about that. So Dylan Lewis Monroe. Now I know the graphics are a bit meh on it, but this was the best quality. If you go onto my community page, you will see a version there that once you download it, you can zoom right in and everything's real crystal clear. It's just the shitty laptop that I'm on. It's really bad. The phone has better ability than my laptop. I must invest in one, but however. So I said I'd do a breakdown. I could do hours and hours on this, people. Hours. Because I would just get lost in it. And it's one of those images. I'm sure you have come across images in your life where you look at it and you think you've seen everything in it, but then you'll go back a few days later and go, oh, I didn't even see that in it last time. It's one of these, um, so much detail that you could literally look at it for a full 24 hours and then come back the next day and still find something, for weeks. There's that much that's in it. So I said I'd do a little. Now, I said I'd do a breakdown of it, but I'd be there. I'd be here all year. So if there is something that is you feel that's important and I miss, if you see something that's important and I miss it, put it in the comments. Tag the name of it and tag a link to somewhere, or not a link, but more so, um, where you heard about it first, or what interested you in that specific word, or like for instance, I'm just going to take this as for a sample here. There's a group called the Bilderberger Group, and I've been trying to inform everyone I can about the Bilderberger Group. Being an Irishman, I know that a couple of the Irish politicians like Simon Coveney and Pascal Donoghue, both of them are Bilderbergers. So this is a group that meet in secret. Like it's one of those where you'd love to be a fly on the wall. If you want to look more into Bilderberger, I was going to drop this further on in the video, but if you want to look at stuff on the Bilderberger, just look up Jim Marrs. That's Jim Marrs, Marrs. He's passed away now, but he did humanity a massive favor by keeping track of Bilderbergers. And sometimes he would get inside information like the list of people that attended and stuff like that. So give him a look if you want to go deeper on that. So I said I'd do a little breakdown. So I'm gonna just start on the bottom left here. And it's basically just the structure of everything that we've ever known. That's what makes it so fascinating to me in any way. So the matrix being the very bottom of the list is the matrix system that they keep the majority of people in. Oh, sorry. I mustn't use the hand to scroll that way. So the matrix, right? So you've Satan's hell matrix, worker ants, 9 to 5 slaves, people that are working 9 to 5 and haven't got the time to actually stop and like see and think about what's happening in the world. That would be the 9 to 5 slaves. Okay. Now listen, I'm not saying that everyone it's a bad thing to be working, obviously, because in order for you to work and acquire things in life, you have to work. In order to acquire things that you want, that might be above the average salary to do 9 to 5. So right, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a type of matrix that they have people wrapped in, because the people that do 9 to 5s, you'll find, don't really have the time to stop and think about things. It's all go, 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 work orientated, type of thing. Robotoids and clones. Now, clones is interesting because everything that I've looked into, clones comes up a lot. It does come up a lot, and apparently the powers that be have had the ability to do clones for many, many years. Many years. And if you look hard enough, well, not even hard enough, if you just go onto Twitter and type gene cell mixing, I think it's called, or you could just say, or you could just put clones for sale in, and you'll find all these like exhibitions around the world where there's these companies that are offering you the chance to put your conscious into another body. Now, you might believe me, just go look it up. It's all out there. It's all out there. But it's like, and it's funny that it's under 95 because I was just saying that people who do this don't have time to stop and think and look into all that stuff, which would probably people would probably be a bit more aware of clones in that manner, you know. Sheep, cattle, NPC, one of my favourite words, NPC, non-playable characters. If people that are interested, I use NPC a lot. I use it rather than sheep because I think it probably describes them a bit better. Like a sheep would still have awareness of its surroundings. You know, I know they're completely like people think they're all dumbed down because they are kept in like fields and they're maintained by us. But I'm sure a sheep growing up would adapt easier to a wild surroundings than a human just growing up. Do you know what I mean? In the sense of like a human child needs a human around it, needs an adult around it 24/7. Whereas a sheep could be born, yeah, it might need the milk and stuff, but I'm pretty sure a sheep would still adapt and find its way better than a human after being born. But yeah, it's just a bit ironic there about the word sheep. And I think when you start calling them sheep, it kind of scares them a bit. They won't listen to you, so don't call them sheep anymore. NPC is just as harsh, but I think it describes them a bit better because they are a being. Like, I'd like to think that they have some sort of conscience if they're able to, do daily tasks and all. But a non-playable character. Go watch the movie. Who's the guy that plays Deadpool? Wade. No, that's his stage name. Oh God, I can't think of him. Anyway, the character that plays Deadpool did a movie where he's a character in a game, and he all of a sudden becomes conscious of what's around him. Go look into that. Have a look at that movie. It's very good. They put Debtors. They put Mark of the Beast, but isn't that Monster? Now I heard something about this before about the three things being ancient Hebrew. I should have had that there, but if you look up these three marks like on Monster cans, it's like ancient Hebrew. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Something for you to look into it anyway. Love giving you little tasks here to look up. If you're interested in it. Maskers, zombies, goyim. We've all heard that word, haven't we? Goyim. To the people who follow Judaism call the rest of us, we're the goyim. Breeders. Now, breeders is a big one because with all the research into certain people in the world, certain famous people and doctors and stuff like this, that's the dark side of the world that you're looking at there with the breeders. They literally have women that are just treated like chambers for breeding children. Literally, that's all they are. They're just if you go look into John Wedger, he's a police whistleblower, and he talks about this. Like, it seems to be a part of every dark side of society is this breeder, which is what I said there. It's like a female who becomes basically just like a conveyor belt and breeds loads of children for them so they can do whatever and do their Baal worship, if you know what I mean, or their Molech worship. So that's the breeders. Useless eaters. That's self-explanatory, isn't it? The mask. Now, see that? I thought that was a nice little graphic he put in there for the mask. It's like a human, right? And there's his eye, there's the mask, but their brain is missing. See? The brain is missing. I thought that was a nice little touch on that. Now, God, I can't make out these ones. So this is like a human cycle of life. So birth, school, let me just, because I want to be precise with this. I know the graphics still very bad on that, isn't it? Let me just grab the. Sorry for the delay. I just want to make sure that I get this right. On the phone, it's crystal clear. You wouldn't believe. So there we go. So it's birth, school, debts, as in money, labour, taxes, retirement, death. It's like a full human cycle, isn't it? Birth, school, debts, labour, taxes, retirement, death. Pretty straightforward. Now I'm gonna keep going left to right here, so I'm gonna go back over. I might just do the first video on the orange section and then do another video on the grey. That's what I'll do. Because I'll be going back and forth, so I'll just do the orange section first. So the bread and circus that we all know about, this is what the Romans used to keep the masses dumbed down, basically. So you've your football. Now, see, this was a hard one for me because a lot of you know that I used to be a fan, right? I used to be like, you'd look forward to the Saturday, or even when I was younger, remember Match of the Day? That was like a trigger, and everyone sat down in front of the TV. So it's like, get them all around the TV. But growing up then, and just thinking about the actual fact that I think what it was, I think I've said this before, was when my child was born. She's 8 now. So this is going back 8 years. That's how long ago I fell out of love with football. Last time I can really think about enjoying a football game was probably even further back, probably even like 2005 when Liverpool won the Champions League, when they came back from 3-0 down against Milan. That's probably the last time I can see myself actually getting completely lost in a football match, or even just watching TV in general. But of course, it's not just football to us. You've the American football, you've all that stuff as well, right? So basically, like all professional ball. There's that's a nice little touch you put in there. It says under it, even though you can't read it. If you want the crystal, like I said, if you want the crystal clear video or image, go to me community posts and download the image from there. It's nice and clear on that. It's just this laptop, like I said, but above it says, like, the bread and circus, but above football it says arena gladiator games. So that would have been the Roman times with the gladiators against the lions and all that. And then football, of course, /soccer, /NFL, any of them ones. But it says under here, all professional BAL sports. BAL. That word is very important. BAL sports. Basically Satan. What's this one? Religion. Oh no. Sorry about this. So religion. Here. Heavenly rewards for obedient serfs, it says under that. Now, like, people could get, and people hear me talking about Jesus. I found that the name Jesus actually, personally, gives you some sort of protection. Like, it's like a ward. It's like a ward. Honest to God, you'll say his name. Do you ever say his name and then get that shiver up your spine? Yeah, that's like our intuition. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Now at this stage, 42. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, religion, heavenly rewards for obedient serfs. And like, he has an upright cross on this side, an inverted cross on that side. So like, keeping you within something, huh? As above, so below. All these sayings come back at you, like. Next one is lethal extortion racket, which is the medical field, which is population reduction, aka family planning, it says underneath it. So that'd be the likes of Planned Parenthood, such a big attack on the family unit as a whole. Everything we've seen the last 5 years, longer I know, but like especially the last 4 or 5 years, it's just really showing you that stuff. So rigged voting systems, government, career and bloodline politicians, military, police, and prisons. So the career and bloodline politicians I found very interesting because anytime you go and look at one of these politicians in Ireland, their brothers and sisters and or their uncles or some are always somewhere, always higher up or as high up as the person themselves. You ever notice that? It's like the royals did back many years ago, where they all married each other just to keep the power between themselves. That's exactly what government is. It's the same thing. We're all family members, and you know, sixth cousin twice removed, and all this crap. Um, Next section is legal. So your judges, lawyers, esquire, lawfare, titles of nobility. Where's this one? Academia, university, education. Key word here underneath education says gatekeepers of the intellectual status quo. And there's a bleeding title, isn't it? Gatekeepers. So under education, academia, university, with the hat that you throw up in the air, education. Gatekeepers. God, that must be one of the words that I use a lot, Gatekeepers of the intellectual status quo. So basically, that video I did on Carol Vorderman, the way she had a male caller call in and talk about how unfair the law is against males in England when it comes to like child visitation and stuff like that. And he was going to quote Jordan Peterson, but she cuts him off and said, no, you can't be saying his name on it because this is my show. She's a gatekeeper. She's a gatekeeper. I know people might have different views on Jordan Peterson, but whatever. What's this one? Mass MK Ultra. Look at the box. It's the media box. Mass MK Ultra hypnosis, propaganda dissemination underneath it. So if you there's loads of videos out there of. Do you ever see all the news reports doing the same report word for word? Like Google news reporters talking about ice cream, and it will blow your mind. It's all different media outlets that are not supposed to be connected. So it could be the BBC, RT News, RT News. Well, I don't know if RT News, the Russia Today, ever had any of them adverts on it, but mainstream news outlets, and they're all saying the same lines, literally word for word. Does that not that should tweak people's interest a little bit? Just go look it up. Google news channels using the same ice cream quotes. It's not just ice cream they did it on, by the way. They do it with a lot of stuff, but it was the ice cream one that I first noticed that fucking hell, they're saying the same thing word for word here. What's up with this? Like a giant psyop. But no, that's mass MK Ultra. And you think that's weird that I said ice cream. Why are all the politicians going around licking ice creams? Won't be to think about. Entertainment. So behavioural programming, idol worship. So I keep warning people about this idol worship. Social media, Hollywood, alt media. A lot of people say alt media. What's that? Does that involve Twitter and all? Well, I'm sure parts of it does, but the Hollywood thing is a big issue at the moment in the world. You just have to say that, like, the amount of stuff that came out about Harvey Weinstein and filthy, dirty cesspit of a place, Hollywood. And here's an interesting fact. When wizards, what do you think they make their wands out of? They make it out of Hollywood. Huh? Here's a nice little connection for you to make there. Wizards have been known to make their wands out of Hollywood and use it to cast spells on people. Interesting, eh? Welcome to my world. Netflix. So this is brain rot of the nation. Social interaction substitute. So basically what that's saying is that Netflix is like giving people a fix on, I've noticed that they use a lot of like gory, dark humor, like really dark humor, like devil worship and stuff like that. That's all over Netflix, all that sort of stuff, you know. Corporations, banking, insurance, credit cards, big pharma, big tech, big agriculture, energy, real estate, communication, mining, shipping, consumer goods, and the smart grid. So it's a conglomerate. That's like world resource control, nepotism, basically. This map has everything. Look, crony capitalism, everything. That's what I love. Things like this, like so much in it. Like these are more informative than your mainstream. You know, I mean, there's a reason mainstream don't want you looking at all this stuff because they know there's so much truth in it. And then world financial control would be the IMF, the World Bank, BIS. Now, is that Bank of Scotland? Maybe, I don't know. If you know, put it down below. See, I'm not saying I know everything. BIS, first time I've heard BIS. And usually I'm not good with the way they put them in the short form. The WEF, stock markets, which this side and this side feed into this because that's your next step up. So IMF, World Bank, BIS, WEF, stock markets, hedge funds, UN, EU, WHO, NATO versus BRICS. So what that's saying to me is people who would cheer on BRICS, it's just another card that they have because there they are saying NATO versus BRICS. You get me? And then they all tie into central banks, tax revenue, and dividends. Now, here's a weird little thing that's going to lead into the next video. I'm not going to do the grey yet, but I'm just going to say, look what leads into the next one. Beyond the veil of ordinary perception. What am I always saying? I liken everything that we see now in the world is the veil lifting. Isn't that weird? And that just happens to be the next step up is beyond the veil of ordinary perception. Wow. I love things like this, man. And women. But yeah, there's so much. So that's the orange section there. I'll do the grey section. I'll do a video. Probably won't be as long as 25 minutes, but I'll do the grey, yellow, and light yellow. Another little thing I found interesting here. Look. What's that remind you of? If I'm not going to say what it is, but if you put in the comments down below, tell me what you think that is there in the sky. You got right. We all know. Most people are just going to say a UFO, but specifically, a UFO from a particular movie. So if you know it, put it down below, right? And yeah, enjoy. I'll get working on the next video as soon as possible. And please share that video I did of Coca-Cola not allowing you to put the name Jesus on a can because I feel that's very prominent, very telling of the times where they can't even put his name on a can, like.